Welcome back, everyone, to Courtroom Conversations here on the Classic Courtroom YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of our deep dives into the most fascinating legal cases. I'm Dylan Brooks Hamilton, and as always, I'm joined by the incredible Susan Kelly Ashford. Today, we are going to dive headfirst into a case that has sparked a lot of debate online.
Oh, yeah.
The killing of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson, and what a recent poll tells us about how the public is perceiving all this.
This is really sending shockwaves through social media, and it's really raising some seriously complex questions.
Absolutely.
We're talking about a poll that revealed that a staggering 41% of young adults between 18 and 29 actually find this killing acceptable.
Wow. I got to say, when I saw that number, I was absolutely shocked.
Yeah.
When I saw that headline, I knew we needed to talk about this. So let's break it down.
Okay.
What can you tell us about this poll?
Well, this Emerson College polling survey was conducted very recently, December 11th to the 13th. And it polled 1,000 registered voters, which gives us a pretty good sample size of public opinion. The margin of error is 3 percentage points, which means that the actual percentages could be a little higher or lower.
Okay.
But it's important to keep that in mind. Overall, 68% of those surveyed found the killing unacceptable.
Uh-huh.
But it's the generational breakdown that's really interesting.
Right. 41% of young adults is a huge number. I mean, what are they seeing that maybe other generations are not?
That's exactly the question, isn't it? And if we dig even a little deeper, we see that 24% of young adults thought it was somewhat acceptable.
Right.
But 17% said it was completely acceptable.
Wow.
That's a pretty big difference. Spencer Kimball, who's the director of the polling group, highlighted that it's not just an age thing. There's actually a political divide, too. 22% of Democrats found the killing acceptable, compared to 16% of independents, and only 12% of Republicans.
I think this case is really exposing these fault lines that we have between generations and political parties. It's like we're looking at two completely different Americas.
Yeah.
Before we get into the why, though, let's rewind for a minute and remind everyone about what happened to Brian Thompson.
So Brian Thompson was shot and killed on December 4th in New York City.
Oh, wow.
And what makes this case particularly scary is that he was shot in the back first, and then again as he was falling.
That's awful.
26-year-old Luigi Mangione was arrested for the crime. It's important to highlight these details surrounding the shooting.
Right.
Because it paints a very vivid picture.
Yeah.
And that can definitely affect public perception.
And I think it's hard to ignore the reaction we've seen online.
Absolutely.
Especially on social media. Some of these posts that are going viral express a real lack of sympathy for his death.
It's true.
Which I think is a serious reminder of how powerful these platforms can be at shaping the narrative.
They can even normalize extreme views.
That's right.
These algorithms prioritize content that gets a reaction, which creates echo chambers.
Wow.
Where outrage just grows and spreads.
Absolutely.
And let's not forget that law enforcement hasn't even revealed a motive for this killing.
Right.
So we have this vacuum of information that allows speculation and rumors to run rampant.
And a lot of those are fueled by preconceived notions.
That's right.
So we had this really shocking crime, this publico that's divided on how to respond to it. And social media is just stirring the pot constantly.
Yeah.
What do you think is going on here? What could be causing these unconventional viewpoints?
It's a complicated situation, but I think we can start to connect some of the dots.
Okay.
First, we have this backdrop of rising healthcare costs.
Yeah.
And so much frustration with insurance companies in general. It makes sense that for some people, Thompson, as the CEO of a major healthcare provider, became a symbol of all that frustration, especially for those who are already struggling with the system.
It's like he represents this faceless corporation.
Exactly.
And not an actual human being.
And then you add in the disconnect between younger generations and corporate leadership in general. There's a growing sentiment, especially among millennials and Gen Z, that corporations value profits more than they value people.
That's true.
And then when you consider all the financial burdens that young adults face these days,
like what?
Like student loan debt, stagnant wages, the crazy housing market. It's really no surprise that there's so much resentment.
Yeah, and all of that resentment is only made worse
by
social media algorithms, which feed into these feelings constantly.
It's a double-edged sword. Social media is great for activism and creating change, but it can also make divisions worse. And nuance gets lost.
That's true.
And don't forget that this case brings up questions about our justice system, too.
Oh, right.
Mangione was arrested on December 9th in Altoona, Pennsylvania, because a McDonald's employee recognized him and called the police. His first court appearance in Pennsylvania is Thursday, December 18th, for gun charges. Then another proceeding on December 30th, but New York is trying to extradite him to face that murder charge.
Right.
So this legal process is just beginning. It's going to be really interesting to see how public opinion affects these proceedings.
Yeah. Or if the proceedings change public opinion.
Exactly.
This is such a fascinating case. And kind of disturbing, too. It really shows how all these societal issues and individual perceptions and our legal system all come together. We have this pole that's divided everyone.
Yeah.
And the case itself makes us think about so many different things, like healthcare, corporate responsibility, the influence of social media, and how complex our justice system really is.
It really makes you think.
It does.
What does this case tell us about the way we talk to each other now? About the relationship between corporations and individuals, about how we all process information and form our own opinions.
In the digital age?
That's right.
Well, so then to all our viewers, thank you so much for joining us here on Courtroom Conversations. What are your thoughts on all this? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the Classic Courtroom YouTube channel so you can keep up with all our deep dives into the most compelling legal cases. See you next time.